Welcome back to another video. If you are new here, welcome to the channel. My name is Felicia and I am a certified TaxDome consultant, and I work with solo practitioners, small firms around the size of 4 to 10, where I literally help them streamline and automate their business by using TaxDome, and also helping them with the operation side of things. And so today we are going to talk about what not to do with your personal and business pipelines in TaxDome while you are very busy during the tax season, right? So these are my suggestions. I have found this really this year with working with some of my clients. And so I really wanted to share some of those points with you today. And the first point that I want to raise is when you have too many manual tasks in your pipelines. And I'm kind of going to give you an example in this case, right? So if you are a firm that sends out proposals, right, you do not want to send out a customized proposal for each of your clients, right? You want to try to keep that as generic as possible. And I say that because you do not want to be having meetings with your actual clients and then stop what you're doing with actually meeting with them, doing their returns, stop what you're doing, having type up a proposal for a different client, and then get back to what you were doing. I do not ever recommend something like that. And so to solve this issue, I do recommend taking advantage to custom fields, right? So if you have specific pricing that you want to put into your proposal, and it might look different for everyone, maybe for different types of clients, you can put that pricing into their account as a custom field. And then when you have your proposal, for example, then put that custom field into the proposal, and then it will publish in the pipeline. It will publish essentially that field in a customizable way without you having to lift a finger. Okay, that's just one example, but it's a key example that I feel like that is not a feature that's not really taken advantage of too much. Okay, so that's one thing I've been seeing. Now, the second thing is when you are having your job stuck in stages due to tag confusion. All right, so let me explain kind of what that means. And so sometimes I have found that when you are putting too many processes within one pipeline and you are trying to differentiate each process with a tag, it causes jobs to be stuck in the pipeline. For example, now you have maybe your business clients, you have your 1040 clients for people in the US, right? I'll just say, for instance, in this case, just a personal return. You are maybe putting those in the same pipeline. And then you might even have a process where you have people coming into the office where they are dropping their documents off to you. You might even have some virtual clients, right there. I just said 4 different processes, potentially 4 different processes right then and there. You might have a different process for a personal return, a business return, people that are coming into the office, that might be a different process. And then you might have a different process for people that are just virtual. Okay, so and when you are trying to differentiate between those 4, you are separating it by a tag. And when you are having so many processes within so many processes within one pipeline, that could cause, I'm not saying this is the case for every scenario, but it could cause jobs to be stuck. Now, when you are busy, right, you you will already have to go into TaxDome and do updates. I will kind of get into that point in my next point, right? I will get into that a little bit. But there's always going to be a little bit of maintenance that you have to do, okay? That's natural. I'm not going to say that you're never going to have any, okay? But what I'm saying is you do not want to cause more work for yourself, okay? That's why I suggest having a very simplistic pipeline as you can, right? That try to covers as many processes as possible. TaxDome, I tell my clients this: TaxDome is not going to be able to take care of every single scenario 100% of the time, right? That's just not even realistic, right? You're going to have clients where they probably don't even want to use TaxDome, right? So you're just going to have to just disregard them and create an account for them, right? There's going to be some people where they don't even fill out the organizer, but they prefer to just come in to your office, right? So there are just situations that are just not going to fit, right, within your pipelines or whatever the case may be. And that is fine. But I always tell my clients at least shoot for 80% of those scenarios to be covered in TaxDome, where it's covered in a simplistic way, so that you are not causing more work for yourself, but you are seeing yourself in that busy season where you're going to be a little stressed, right? I mean, that's just tax season, right? You're going to be a little bit high strung. You're going to be tired, but let it come from a point where it's not from your systems per se, if that makes sense, right? Like I try to organize these pipelines so that you don't have to worry about just the mundane type of tasks, right? Like trying to chase around your clients, trying to figure out why they didn't have X document, or sending the same email or whatever. Like those type of mundane tasks you should not have to worry about, right? So that's why I say try not to cause more work for yourself by trying to put too many processes into one pipeline, which causes the jobs to be stuck in the stage. Okay, so that's my second point. Now, my third final point is basically you are not updating your pipelines at the end of the day. Now, I'm going to get into this too. You don't want to look up and find that you have worked on 10 clients' returns, right? And you see that you are about to e-file their return, and when you look into TaxDome, you still see those 10 clients sitting in review stage, or let me give you a better example, sitting in still in progress. You still working on the return stage, but you're about to get ready and e-file their return, right? So I recommend this, that you have to put TaxDome within your day-to-day activities, right? So, for example, if you see your clients, mainly this is for people that see their clients in person, right? Not necessarily if you are a mostly virtual firm, because you mostly do things online, so it's a bit easier for you to implement TaxDome in your day-to-day activities. But if you are a firm that has an office and you are seeing people in person, I highly, highly, highly recommend, if you're having an appointment, hopefully you have like 2 screens, right, where you are having your return or your tax software on one screen, and you are having TaxDome on another screen, and where you are having your appointment, doing what you do best, right? And before you close out that appointment, right, you make sure you look into TaxDome and put them in the appropriate stage that they are supposed to be in, right? So if in that meeting you didn't do any signatures, you didn't get their signatures, and you still have to do that, then they should be, their account or their job in this case in TaxDome should be dropped in the e-signature stage, right? If you have that stage in your pipeline. Okay, now if you have collected all the signatures, you maybe even got paid during that appointment, and all is left is you having to e-file. You should put them into the e-file stage before closing out, well, before meeting a new client, right? You want to make sure that you are updating your pipelines before the day ends, because you just do not, I mean, it's a headache when you look, you spend all this time updating the pipelines, making sure the automations work. I mean, you spend all this time getting it prepped and ready to go, but when it's during tax season, you're not moving people along so that they can get those types of updates, right? So I recommend, before you meet with a new client, that current client is all squared away in TaxDome. Or if you just find yourself being extremely busy and you can't do it within that meeting, before you leave and go home, I would recommend you just take maybe about 10-15 minutes and just update your pipeline in TaxDome before you leave and go home. Okay, so that is just a few things that I recommend you not doing, okay, during within your personal and business pipelines during the busy season. Okay, if you have any questions, please comment them down below. I actually have a new Discord channel, a community. If you have not seen that, it's actually somewhere. I'll make sure to put it in the description. Please join that. It is a free community. That's where you can you can ask me questions, and we can just come together as a community and help each other with just getting us all situated in TaxDome, right? That's the goal, is to be more streamlined, be more automated, so that you as a firm owner can step away, at least not be so in the business, right? You kind of step away for a little bit and scale your business the way that you like. And what only way to do that is to use a system to help you do that, okay? And so if you are also wanting to work with me, feel free, send me an email, or you could just join that Discord community. You can reach out to me there, okay? So please comment down below what you didn't like, what you liked in the video, or what you recommend, or what you want to learn next, okay? I will, hopefully you liked it, and I will see you in the next video.